Your forward air has multiple hits that you activate with multiple presses. Each landed hit also bounces you up, which you can use for positioning. You don't need to complete the attack to use a different move, and I'll explain how to combo using this later. Next, your down air. You can cancel out a Bayonetta's down air by using any move. Hitting with the heel of the attack also gives you a powerful spike. You can go deep into the blast zones and still recover with Bayonetta because of her great air mobility, but you need to be careful not to recover too soon, because you might potentially save your opponent. Potentially. The last unique property for air moves is the ability to extend them by holding A, which I'll discuss in the bullet art segment. Using this, you can rack up damage if your opponent's too far away, but also, you still have the hitboxes while spinning, and you can frame trap opponents because the move outlasts any air dodges that they might try to pull off. You need to remember that when you're using only one or two attacks, Bayonetta has almost no landing lag, but if you use too many moves in the air, you extend your landing lag at the end, so be careful not to overextend when you're doing combos. At the first and final few frames of your dodge moves, if you get hit, you'll do Bat Within and take reduced damage and no knockback while slowing your enemy down. Momentum doesn't change and you can act immediately out of it, so you have to make sure to react before your opponent does. All of Bayonetta's offensive options can be extended by holding down the attack button or special attack button if they're a special move. This is called bullet arts. The bullets themselves aren't projectiles and they also can't be reflected. Direct contact with the barrels of her guns while you're doing this also causes your opponents to flinch. Your forward tilt is a combo move that hits 3 times, using a button press for each attack. You can actually extend random parts of the combo as a mind game. All of Bayonetta's air moves can also be held, which extends the duration of her neutral air and up air, and simply racks up damage using her back air or forward air. You can also randomly hold the multiple hits of her forward air as a mind game. You can also extend the duration of Bayonetta's jab by holding A, but it will eventually end on its own. As a trick, you can also use bullet arts to rack up damage when you know that your opponent is going to escape your combo, which I demonstrate here. I like to call this string peppering, but that's just me. While not exactly a unique property, Bayonetta's duck is low enough to go under many attacks. You can combine this with bullet arts to harass your opponents as well. Bayonetta's standard special slows your momentum. You can cancel it by shielding or dodging, which gives it a unique property that I cover in the segment about B reversing. Charging the attack increases the knockback on the first few hits, but hitting B rapidly after firing lets you continue attacking. When you're edge guarding, you can use this move to force opponents to recover predictably high or low. Bayonetta will also shoot with her feet randomly, but it's only aesthetic. Your up special can be used twice, one before you air jump and again after, but you can't do them in a row. Your up special will always knock your opponents above and in front of you, so use this to your advantage when you're accounting for your enemy's weight. You can also play mind games by reversing your up special so that your opponent will DI in your favor. You shouldn't always use your special instead of a double jump. If you're neutral, you may want to opt for just double jumping if positioning is more valuable than your height. The most valuable tool in your arsenal is your side special. In the air, it goes through opponents while knocking them towards your ending point. However, pushing down before executing the move also angles it down. When this happens, it knocks you and your opponent up instead of piercing them. This makes it preferable for more punishing follow-ups. The timing before hitting down and using the side special to angle it is very generous, but that also means you'll have to commit to an angle ahead of time. Holding down the special attack button while on the ground lets you do a follow-up kick. You can use this to fake out opponents, but otherwise it knocks your opponent almost identically. You can use the side special again if you land it the first time, but only once. It doesn't have to be immediately, but the time window it gives you is very strict. Another property of your side special is that it kicks you up if you land into walls. Not only can you use this to recover, you can also discourage enemies from trying to edge guard. Your down special is a dodge and a counter. It can be used on the air or on the ground. Getting hit before or after the invincibility frames will trigger Bat Within like you're dodging. When it does counter, it slows down your opponents, but they can still attack and it ends prematurely if you get hit. Because it's a counter, it halts your momentum when you use it in the air. But because it's a dodge, it also lets you avoid grabs. Your down special is a very valuable coming down option, because it allows you to avoid attacks while landing, where otherwise you'd have to pick between doing an air dodge or a spot dodge. When you activate it, don't try to combo, because the time slowing mechanic makes it difficult. What you'll have to do is just opt for a smash attack instead. Using this too much shortens the amount of time it slows enemies, but actually landing a counter with it shortens it more, so don't be afraid to use it if it hasn't landed yet. This is Bayonetta's best tool for dealing with pressure, because all of her offensive options have too much startup, but be careful not to be predictable. Bayonetta's grab range is pretty bad, but the actual grabs themselves are relatively quick. They also function a lot like Captain Falcon's grab in how they make her slide when you activate them. Bayonetta's throws are primarily used to get her opponents into the air or off the stage, and they don't have any true combos. But you can quote-unquote combo with Bayonetta's down throw using a guess and check method, attacking based off of how your opponents react. As a kill option, her forward throw is still the best. But your up throw can be followed up with your up air, although it's avoidable, so you might have to fake them out. A majority of the difficulty in playing Bayonetta is confirming kills. For her air attacks, the heel of the attack is the strongest point. All of her air moves can potentially kill. At Hypersense, you can also combine her side special with an up air to kill off the top. Bayonetta's most vital kill move is her back air. It goes over opponents if you activate it immediately with a short hop, so you'll need to practice the timing to utilize it properly. Otherwise, it's an incredibly safe kill option. When picking between smashes, her up smash is the strongest and most reliable. You shouldn't use her forward smash too often because the angle of the attack can actually make you miss some small opponents. A pivot forward smash can also cover get-up options with a hard read, but it has a tendency to act a little bit weird. You can cancel Bayonetta's taunt after a few seconds. It can theoretically be used as a mind game, but ultimately it's just a taunt. Also, if you time it right, you can make Bayonetta talk past the countdown timer. You generally don't want to be running on the ground as Bayonetta, because her stop and turn animations are incredibly long. Get used to utilizing shield stopping as a method of halting movement. While this is true for any character, you also don't want to rely on rolling for Bayonetta. Her rolls are short and slow and borderline reactable. Bayonetta is a fast faller with high airspeed, making her ledge snap not only very swift, but also incredibly easy to execute. Bayonetta's perfect pivot has a relatively large distance, but the limited range and speed of her ground options restrict its viability. Utilizing perfect pivots would make tilt sticking more appealing over smash sticking, but otherwise your choice between the two are mostly preferential. And given the complexities of her special moves, opting for B sticking would limit your effectiveness. Bayonetta's B reverse for both her down special and standard special just aren't useful. Because her standard special has a high angle, it can miss opponents and make it ineffective as a mind game. However, canceling your standard special in midair changes your momentum in an unusual and unpredictable way, letting you utilize a unique coming down option for a mix-up. The highest distance in the air that you could travel is achieved by using your up special, jump, then up special again, while utilizing her side special at any point. Bayonetta's side special also bounces you up like a pseudo wall jump when you ram into walls, which gives you more vertical distance. Also, Bayonetta can wall cling. The longer you stay on the wall, the higher you can jump on dismounting. It's important to exploit Bayonetta's almost non-existent landing lag on short hop while maintaining fluidity in your movement by coupling this with your neutral air while holding A to punish your opponent if they're too close and harass them with bullets if they're far away. The bullets don't do a lot of damage, but they're effective as a psychological tool. Your jump animation also lets you dodge somewhat low attacks, about the height of most characters' tilts. Additionally, the animation can make it difficult to tell which direction Bayonetta is facing, letting you pull out back airs while mixing it up with neutral airs. This next segment isn't meant to be a demonstration of skill or a combo video. It's meant to be an example of how to use the tools you have as Bayonetta to combo. When you're trying to start a combo, your first objective is to use your ground options to get your opponents above and in front of you. The easiest combo you can pull off as Bayonetta is her side special into up special, side special again, then up air or back air. A vital tool for combos is using only the first or second hits of your forward air, because they center you and your opponent for a follow-up, whereas the third hit would only knock them away. When doing combos, you need to keep your positioning in mind and react accordingly. There's a lot of variables in Smash, so know that your combos aren't always guaranteed. You'll need to account for your opponent's DI, their weight, or any platforms that can get in the way. A lot of the mentality in Bayonetta is situational awareness, even when you're on the offensive. Your success will rely on flexibility and reaction.
Winner is Bayonetta!
Thanks for watching.